Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 543. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going? Want some bananas?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Brett Murdoch.
What up, party people?
And Brian Manjoma.
What up, what up?
All right, guys, back with another one. Adam will probably be here later. He said he's reviewing RoboCop or writing his review for RoboCop. And Richard, we don't know what's going on with Richard. So he may show up, he may not show up. It'll be a phenomenal question, you know? And I think that's everybody. Like, how many people do we have on this podcast now? It's a lot of people, you know? But yeah, man, kind of a slow week. I might even be facetious. Some stuff happened, but nothing like crazy. I guess, it's the dead of summer, so it is what it is. But there is a new game out now that we're going to kick off the show with, and I'm going to hope that Carlos at least played some of it as well. We got to talk about Donkey Kong, bro. Donkey Kong Bananza is out. Yes, we are talking about Nintendo on this podcast. This is the way it is now, people.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so Carlos, did you get to play any of it before the show?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I didn't get to play it enough, as much as I wanted to, but I did get to play maybe around an hour of it, so I got some initial thoughts.
Yeah, that's good. I'll kick it off. So I played, I'm going to say close to 2 hours, not a full because, life, you got to do other shit. But yeah, like this is, made by the same team that made Mario Odyssey, so obviously that was already on my radar because that's legit. If you guys have heard me, it is my favorite Switch game. So, and based on the trailers, it looked really cool. Donkey Kong's just smashing a bunch of shit. It's pretty fun so far, man. It does take a little bit to get used to because, like, naturally in games you want to press, what on the PlayStation would be the X button. That's not where the jump is. The jump is actually on the circle button. Yeah. Or, we're placing, yeah. But the thing is, it makes sense because basically fucking Nintendo controllers are so weird. X is to punch up, Y is to punch forward, and then B is to punch down. So if you look at it on the controller, it actually makes sense. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. I did, before this, I heard reports about how there's some slight performance issues sometimes, and it is there because this game is utilizing voxels for the environments, and that's very RAM heavy. That's something developers already said, but they were like, we're willing to sacrifice a little bit of performance in order to just let people do what you want. It hasn't been detrimental yet, but it's pretty fun. By the way, I love how my headset just literally gave me that low battery, so I'm gonna have to plug it in during this. But yeah, I've got from what I understand, there's 8 sub levels. I just got to the second one. I beat a boss, and I was pleased to say that it took me 3 tries to beat the boss. He was giving me a little bit of the work. So this game isn't just some pushover game, which kind of makes sense if you played other Donkey Kong games. They're pretty tough. This is not nearly as tough as a regular Donkey Kong game, but I like the fact that I was getting pushed back, But yeah, so far so good. I'm going to be having a lot of fun playing it this weekend for sure. But yeah, Carlos, what did you think of it?
Yeah, just like you mentioned earlier, I was really looking forward to this game because it just looked different than the other Donkey Kongs. And when they said that the people that made Mario Odyssey made this, I'm like, oh, there you go. I'm definitely going to play this because Mario Odyssey is one of my favorite games, in the last however many years. So yeah, I was pretty excited. So, and then after that, we got all the reviews and everyone's speaking glowingly of it. So I was like, damn. So look, I think we got something here. And I started playing it today after work. And played maybe around an hour of it. And most honestly, I didn't really progress that much. I just spent most of the time just destroying stuff. It's hitting
fun.
Walls, and yeah, it's really addicting. And I like like the environments. I like the different mechanics that you're able to use. And I'm pretty sure I haven't even scratched the surface on the stuff that you can do.
Pun intended.
So, Mm-hmm. So I'm the game is like crack. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Shout out to Tumeke. Tumeke, he was playing it yesterday
Yeah.
because he's, like 20 hours ahead or something like that.
Shout out to New
So
Zealand.
in New Zealand, they got a cheat code, man. They're hours ahead.
Yeah, they're in the future.
They're in the future. Yo, Tumeke, you gotta let us know what you think about this game because I'm curious. So yeah, obviously I haven't played nearly enough to formulate a decent opinion on the game, but I'm enjoying what I've played. From what I've been hearing, it's got a semblance of a story.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I still haven't met and I don't know if you have, Tony, the new chick. I don't know if she's new actually, but the chick that is with you the whole time.
Yeah, I just met
He's
her.
not.
No, she's not new. She's Paul. She's actually the girl that you have to rescue from
Like the very first Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and she's also
I'm really interested to see if that story somehow ties like all the way back around to the first Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's what people are saying, Brett. Yeah, that's what people are saying. It's like, wait, is this a prequel?
It seems like it kind of has to be because you're meeting Pauline for the first time. So I'm not sure if it's like a reboot or a retcon or
reimagining,
kind of an Easter egg.
Yeah,
it's going to be really interesting. I want to hear when one of you guys does beat it. I am very interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, no, I'll let you know. And Carlos, you have experience with Pauline because she's also in Mario Odyssey. She's a singing girl, the woman, I should say, with the red dress.
She's the mayor of that stage.
Oh, so she's moved her way up.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So when seeing the trailers, I just saw like this chick on Donkey Kong. And I'm like I didn't really even pay attention. I'm like, okay,
what is that?
And I was like, what? It was just like to me, it was just a generical girl. Like I didn't really pay attention to like the character design or anything like that. So that's interesting. That's the chick that gives a concert in Odyssey.
Yep, cool. That's her. Yeah, just 13 years old. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Or like maybe again, we don't know because Nintendo's not really lore heavy like that. I know Legend of Zelda has its lore or whatever, but like Donkey Kong, you don't really associate lore with that franchise. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like the way it gets introduced is kind of interesting. It happens like an hour in, but I'm not Adam, so I'm not going to tell you. Oh, but it happens in the first hour. It's okay. No, Adam, just because it happens in the first hour doesn't mean shit. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for those trailers, I wouldn't have even told you about Pauline. I'm like, you'll have to wait and see. But yeah, again, go ahead, bro.
Well, yeah, like those types of things, those are the hooks that gets you into the game. Sometimes it's good not to even know all that stuff because, you're looking for those triggers within the beginnings of even when you're watching stuff. It's like it's the stuff that grabs you.
Yeah.
To start.
Yeah. No, in general, I try. I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna remove names, but I did speak to someone that wrote a it's not Richard, by the way, just getting that out there right now. I spoke to someone who wrote a Death Stranding 2 review, and I was like, why did you say that? Like he spoiled something. And apparently, because I haven't watched any of the trailers spoil it, but I still wouldn't have done it if I had written that review. I'm very careful about that shit, But
I have a very firm spoiler policy, and that's that I will only give you spoilers one time, and that's that, like, that time where you're pretty sure something's going to happen in the movie, and so you're, like, waiting for it to happen, and keep waiting for it to happen, you keep waiting for it to happen, and then it never happens, and you're like, God damn it, I spent so long waiting for that fucking thing to happen. I was distracted, I didn't, like, actually watch as much. That's the only time I'll let people out and like, no, like, hey, like, look, if you're waiting for, like, Superman to have kryptonite burst out from his eyeballs, not going to happen in this movie. So just like enjoy what you have.
Yeah. No, that's a good policy. Go ahead, Carlos. Yeah.
You know what else is a spoiler? And I don't think people take this into account. Maybe it's just a me thing. But when someone tells you, man, this shit gets sad. It gets really sad. And I'm like, okay, so when you watch the movie or play the game or do whatever you're doing and consuming the media, everything's all hunky-dory until you're expecting the one moment, and it's like, to me, that's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah. So, Carlos, how do you feel about shit gets crazy?
That's pretty generic. So I don't
Because
mind that.
that's the one I use because I feel that's anybody, you could put your own interpretation into that, you know? So I feel comfortable saying, bro, keep playing. Actually, this is what I'll say. Bro, keep playing, you'll see. That, like, do you consider that a spoiler? Because that's my go-to right there, you know?
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, we we texted earlier, and like what you
Yeah.
did there was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not one of those psychopaths that goes, oh no, I'm made to business, fine. It's a nice, cheery little, kind of.
Yeah, but I will.
Comedy anime.
Yeah, but I will say this though, and I do this on the Invincible podcast a lot. If someone's and Brett, this goes back to your point. If somebody's going down a weird rabbit hole that's not going to go anywhere, and they're expecting something, I'll be like, no, that doesn't happen. You know, just to make them focus on what they need to be focusing on. You know, because like you said, I could ruin a movie, right? If you're waiting, like, oh, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It's better to say to everybody, dude, that doesn't happen. Just watch.
Especially if they tease something that you're just waiting for. Oh God, that shit drives me crazy.
Yeah,
I hate that shit so much. But like, also, like, if you're like, yo, I'm thinking about watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, I'm gonna be like, okay, are you looking to be sad right now?
That's a spoiler.
Because if, you know, and I know that, but like, also, like, so like, or like, I don't know if there's an easier way to go into that. Like, so what kind of vibe are you looking for? I'm just looking for something, giant fighting robots. I'm like, I don't know if you want to go down the Neon Genesis rabbit hole, man.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you may want to reconsider that. That's what I'm saying. You may want to reconsider that. I'm like, you like, if you just want to have fun watching robots fight, maybe watch like Gurren Lagann or something.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Some people just be like, just smile and be like, "Oh no, that's a great one. You enjoy that."
Oh man, yeah, assholes. I want to get shoot to make it says I'm around 3 to 4 hours in it, and it's so good. Talking about Donkey Kong, I found the destruction great, but distracting in a good way. I'm gonna thank you for pointing that out. Love the way the impacts feel and look very satisfying, especially once you get the big DK ability and smash through walls. Yeah, they did show that. So yeah, that's the one thing. And the reviews mentioned this too. Yo, sometimes the camera gets fucked up on you, man. Like when you're like punching through like walls and shit, it's like the camera doesn't know what the hell to do. So it kind of turns into a first person game, if you know what I mean. Carlos is like, I can't see myself anymore. Okay, I'm just gonna keep punching until I get out of here. You know. But,
and by the way, another thing that I noticed right away is if you're using the Pro controller, the rumble feels different. Like it's like it feels way better than anything that I played with. You know, like the fucking the
Mario Kart,
first,
you know,
definitely Mario Kart, yeah. So I think they might have done something.
Yeah, no, that controller, I didn't think about it, but because I was just like, I just like the rumble in this game, but I didn't realize or pay attention to how it could be different. Because you know me, that's my preferred way of playing as well. So I'll pay more attention to that. But yeah, the game's fun. I would say if you have a Switch to buy it, but you already have it. If you have a Switch to, you already have it. What else are you playing? You know? When I was online, bro, all my friends logging in, Donkey Kong Bananza. They weren't playing anything else. You know? Because again, what else are you gonna play? you finish fucking Mario Kart and that's it. There's nothing else out.
I mean,
you know.
In fairness, Nintendo does make first-party bangers. The problem is they don't make hardware that can compete with third-party games. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of us are frustrated with. Or at least I know Tony and I are both frustrated with God damn Nintendo, if you could just come out with a current gen system, so that it could play all the third party games as well as your first party games, you would kill it. But you make people choose between them because you're like, I don't want to compete with Sony. Like, why? You make more banger games than Sony does. I kind of feel like, and that may be a very controversial statement. I don't know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But by the way, Brett, I will say I agree with the first half of what you said. I'm not a person that cares about playing third-party games on Nintendo, so I don't give a shit. But to your point, this is all it took for me to give Nintendo more of a chance. You gave me a system that looks good on my 4K TV and it runs at 60 frames a second and 4K. That's literally all I wanted from the Switch. I didn't get that. Now that I got it, I'm on board. So in that sense, I think I'm being consistent. That's all I wanted. I literally got what I wanted. But yeah, I don't really care about playing third parties and stuff. Like, it's fine. Like, just give me a system that isn't buckling under the weight of whatever. Like when it's trying to play Zelda, that's all I ask. And so far we kind of got it, even though Donkey Kong's already wobbling a little bit. But to be fair, it is using weird tech that other games typically don't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's my problem with that. I agree with it, but
I'm just speaking for myself. I know you feel differently, which is fine.
Well, no. I'm trying to speak not from personal, but I think like from a market standpoint. Like, I'm not sure that a blue ocean strategy is going to work for a system that costs $500.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it was one thing to be like, oh no, because like the Switches, though they were having their cake and eating it too, because they were the second system that you had. You could choose PlayStation, you could choose Xbox, you could choose PC, whichever one of those you were doing, you were also getting a Switch, right? And that's where they were making their bread, right? But now they've crossed over into a price point where like, hey, I think as things start to get this expensive, people are really not going to be able to, I've had every system since they came out, and I just can't afford it anymore, man. Like, this next generation, like I'm gonna have to pick a side. And I don't like doing that. I've never actually had to do that before. And I think I'm probably just going to think of the money and build a nice PC. But like, I don't know that $500 is cheap enough for Nintendo to keep being a side piece that can't play your big games that your other friends have.
I should say $450 because, people will say, Tony, hold on. Yes, $450. 500 with Mario Kart. Yeah, 450. No, but you're right. 500 with Mario Kart. But it says fastest selling console ever, but it will be interesting to see if it will sustain that. Unfortunately, I think this is just the new reality. It's just how much these systems are going to cost. But to your point, Brett, yeah, people are going to have to choose now. So yeah, I see what you mean. It's like if you're paying $500 for a system that may be your only system, you wanted to play all the third parties, it's not going to be able to. It's going to be able to play all the third parties from last gen, but this gen, probably not. Let's just be real here, So you have to be a real Nintendo fan, which there's plenty out there. By the way, Blitz says, do you ever finish Mario Kart? Actually, to my surprise, yes. If you finish all the Grand Prix races, you see credits. So to me, I'm like, if I see credits, I beat the game. So I beat Mario Kart. But Carlos, just like he says, he plays it every single day.
That stopped when I started Death Stranding. But yeah, there was a time where I played like one or two matches every single day. Got my ass beat most of the time. So, but it was still fun. A lot of nerds in this world. But yeah, I never actually beat it though. I never got to the end. I never did. I did like a couple of Grand Prix.
Yeah, he goes, maybe if you don't play online. Yeah, I never played online. I just went through the Grand Prix, played a little, a race every couple of days here and there, chipping away at it a little bit. Because Mario Kart, remember, people, don't get me wrong. It's not like I totally flipped the switch. I love Nintendo. Mario Kart is still boring to me. I'm sorry. I just don't like kart games, I respect what the game does. It looks gorgeous, but it's not appealing. That's why I was happy when I saw the credits. I'm like, hey, I'm done. That's it. I don't have to play this. I'm good.
You're not big on racing games in general, are you?
Well, Brett, my saltiness. I want fucking Burnout back, but they're not giving it to me.
Yeah, I mean, we all want Burnout back, Tony.
Like, that's all. Like, after I played Burnout, dude, I was like, this is it. This is the only racing franchise I need.
It ruins all of the racing games for you, which is its power couldn't be contained, which is why they had to steal it away. The next generation could not be exposed to the power of Burnout.
It's insane, man. $450 for Switch 2 is better than $1,000 for the Xbox All Ally. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, but no, 100%. Nobody is arguing that. Nobody is arguing that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, again, we'll give you more of our thoughts as we play the game. But so far so good. So far so good. Again, if you have a Switch, you probably already have it because what else are you playing? All right, good stuff. And of course, we got the balance here. We gave you some good Nintendo news. How are we going to give you some bad Nintendo news? This is still Throwdown, people. So it's been revealed that Nintendo can disable your Switch 2 for piracy in the United States, but not in Europe. And this was confirmed by the end user agreement. Crazy stuff. Chris, do you know anything about this? Because I know you and I have kind of been talking about it for a little bit.
It's just the way the EU consumer laws work. Nintendo cannot, because of their consumer protections, they can't disable a system, right? Once you make a purchase of any type of electronics and stuff, they can't just reach out and disable it, Yeah. Here, I guess we don't have that, which sucks. So I think the law needs to change. I really think Nintendo needs a chin check on this because I think this is complete overreach. It shouldn't be up to them to determine how you use your system. Even if there is piracy, do something about that. You need to change the way you operate so that you disincentivize the behavior. You don't go, oh, you're playing pirated games, well, we're going to brick your system. That shouldn't be legal here. It shouldn't be legal anywhere. Obviously, it's not legal in Europe. That's why they can't do it. So, yeah.
So, yeah, so it's kind of crazy. It's like one territory, I would say gets a slap on the wrist. Like one territory gets its hand cut off, another one gets away scot-free, which is interesting. And did we talk about that other story of that one guy who bought a Switch game used, and as soon as he installed it, it bricked his system because he was there was something funky with the game? Did we? I don't know if we talked about that. But that was a wild story.
Bayonetta of eBay?
Yes, that was it. I don't think we talked about that on the show, but what are your thoughts about that, Chris?
Well, I don't know what to make of it. He could be in the right. If you just buy a used game from someone, you put it in this system, and they block you. Was he blocked or did it brick the system? I think it was blocked. Right?
Yeah, I could double check. I think it his account got deleted or something.
His account got banned. Yeah,
that's what it was.
I mean, he'd have to try to appeal it or take legal action. If it's just I bought a used game, right? There's nothing. That should be allowed. If Nintendo's now saying, hey, if you play used games, which is what I've talked about this for a long time. They hate the fact that they don't get residual income from you for used games. If now it's the policy that, if you play a used game on the system, which would be ridiculous because how would they know? What if you take a Switch 1 game from your library and pop it in the Switch 2? Is it going to go up? You're banned. Yeah. That's ridiculous. So if and you don't know what the owner did to the game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. And to make it, you could correct me on this. Basically, the previous owner had done something to that cartridge, which kind of fucked it up for the following guy. And to be fair, this dude called Nintendo up and they reinstated his account. But what if? But now, if you buy a used Switch game, you would be like, "Fuck, am I playing with fire here?"
Exactly.
You got to be careful.
People make modded games. Also, people make clone games, right? Yeah. They figured out how to use that. I forgot, it begins with an M. They use that chip.
Yeah, right? That's right.
And then they'll put a ROM on there.
Some shit.
Yeah. They can dump the ROM, put it on this thing, and put it in a legit case and make it look like a Switch game, right? And sell it.
Yeah.
So you have to watch out for that. I mean, they do that. They do repo cartridges with Super Nintendo games, with Genesis games. I even got duped at Classic Game Fest once. I bought a Genesis game. I opened it up. I'm like, no, this is a repo. It's not the real thing.
That's the reason I stopped buying retro games. Because like even on eBay, they'll say, "Oh, genuine copy," and you get it. Well, it's a fucking repo.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. Fucking liars, man. So everything worked out for this dude in the end, but be very careful buying used Switch games because you never know, bro. Shit is crazy right now. But yeah, and then I heard something else about Nintendo potentially reversing their stance on key cards, virtual key cards, which is kind of interesting because right now what's happening is like if you buy a quote unquote physical version of the Switch game, you may still have to download some of it because you can't fit because the cartridges have a limit of 64 gigs. But if the game's bigger than that, obviously, you need to download more. So I'm like, so what do you guys want as a solution? Do you want the game to just look horrible so they can fit it all into 64 gigs? So I'm not sure, but apparently Nintendo says that, they quote unquote been hearing people and are looking into it, but this is Nintendo. They may not do shit, but kind of interesting that's been a controversy. I don't know. I kind of, in my opinion, I kind of have an asshole stance. I'm like, guys, we're living in the age of digital, man. It fucking sucks, but you just have to, hashtag deal with it, like Adam Orth said, although Nintendo probably should have made those, but it's interesting. It's like I was going to say they should have made those cartridges like 128 gigs, but it's like then it would cost more. But then again, they already cost more in some cases, yeah. So I don't know, man. But yeah, 64 gigs, may be enough for a Nintendo game, but like shit like Cyberpunk, no, bro, you need more than that. It's gotten to a point where like people are hyped because the new Sonic racing game, which is also a kart game, all fits on the disc. Like, yeah, this is the real game. But the ironic part is that game isn't dropping. The Switch 2 version of that game not dropping until early next year, whereas the real game is coming out like in September or something. So it's like, okay, do you want to wait a couple more months to get your full game? Tomaker says, I personally happily pay more for bigger carts over digital. Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, if you're a collector, I think that's probably the best thing to do. But, if you guys remember me saying this about the original Switch, that was like the last console I actually bought physical games for because it made sense. I'm like, I don't have to install the whole game onto the hard drive anymore. But now that we're in this situation, I don't bother with that. Just get the fucking code, and just do it that way. Some interesting stuff, man. All right, let's move on here. Now, we're going to get some fucked up news now for the next couple of stories. You guys remember the Oblivion Remastered, lauded game. Everybody loved it. Shit was hype. It actually, because of that episode, we got a lot of traffic off of that episode. Apparently, even releasing a, highly regarded game, it's not ensure you're a job, bro. Some of the employees are being laid off from Studio Virtuous, I believe. They're laying off 270 employees. So I'm going to read this off of Engadget, then we'll get into it. Virtuos, the studio that developed The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, is laying off 7% of its staff, or around 270 employees. Golther Andrews, a reporter and co-founder at Origami, was first to report the news, which the studio later confirmed. Because, yeah, basically, this guy put out a tweet in, like, French. I'm like, what the fuck does this say? But the company later confirmed it. Virtuous has provided support on a number of large game projects, including a recent patch for Cyberpunk 2077, and employs more than 4,200 people across the USA, Europe, and Asia. I didn't realize the studio was that big. The company said the layoffs are primarily affecting, quote, teams facing lower occupancy and slower demand due to structural shifts in the industry. That's a little nebulous term. It's firing around 200 people in Asia and approximately 70 in Europe. Fewer than 10 are in France. Of course, the French get preferential treatment here, where the core team working on Oblivion Remaster is made or based. Virtuo says it's offering affected workers layoff packages, career transition assistance, and, where possible, job opportunities across its network. All right, so at least they're doing something.
Unlike Microsoft, hey, how about that?
Oh yeah, Microsoft like, hey, why don't you use AI to help you cope? I'm not making that up. I am not making that up. Use AI to help you cope. AI that you got fired because of AI. Now use it to help you cope. We're gonna get to that in a bit. Following up on the story we've been talking about. But yeah, shit is fucked up. But not surprised. This is just the way the industry is going. We're just going through the shrinkage right now. Does anybody have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. What else? What else did they do?
Let's see. They're also worked on the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Delta remaster. They're doing Dune Awakening, and they've also worked on Sea of Thieves. So they've had their hands in a little bit of everything.
I mean, because I did the math on that, and that's 3,800 employees. That's a lot of employees for. I don't know, man. Like having your hands in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the original Oblivion too, but like, and I enjoy the Oblivion remaster. Like, one of the things I don't understand when I'm playing it is like, why did this take like 10 times the amount of people to remake than it did to originally make?
I don't know.
Probably because they had to figure out how to get the actual Bethesda engine to be working in the background.
I mean, I guess
especially if you're trying to recreate essentially like a Shadow of the Colossus situation where you're keeping a lot of keeping the original engine running in the background. So that means you got to get it working within that Unreal container, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that probably takes a lot of engineering. So I'm guessing it's that, and then not to mention all of the asset replacement. That takes a long time too. All that stuff needs to be sculpted and redone, and they have to make sure that all of the all of them work, because that stuff can be a little bit iffy. If you're so it's like doing a new game, but it's like doing a totally new game. The only difference is that the most of the game logic is the same.
I mean, all the voices were done, all the quests were written.
Yeah, but you still need to do asset creation. That shit don't take you don't just hand that over to something and it just does it. Each one of those assets need to be authored by hand, which they did say that they used a little. They did say they did use a little bit of Unreal's metahuman stuff.
But weren't they authored by hand to begin with?
Yeah, they were.
Okay,
but
so
were they done at the same fidelity?
No.
Did they have the same detail? Did the environments have the same detail? It's a lot more work to do more detailed stuff. So, I get what you're saying. Like, okay, if it only took the a guy in a cave, with a bunch of scraps, how come it's taking these guys so long? I mean, it's because it's a lot more stuff to deal with. Granted, yeah, the game logic, the story, and all that other stuff is all done. That's fine, but there's still all the other stuff, and that stuff takes a long time to do. So, my guess is they had a lot of those guys running on assets, and if they're on, I don't know exactly what they did in Metal Gear, but maybe they did something fairly similar, trying to get that original Metal Gear engine running on the old thing, because I hear that's what they're doing. They're just running the original engine and then just replacing animations and assets on the top of it.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of fucked up there. Now it's all right. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's get into it now because this is interesting because it's kind of related. So King, they make Candy Crush and all that. Microsoft owns them now. This is cold-blooded. So this is a headline from The Gamer. King staff laid off by Microsoft, set to be replaced by AI tools they helped train. Damn, bro, that's fucked up. Imagine that shit. Hey, train this AI, sure. Okay, now that AI is going to replace you. Fucked up. Let me read this real quick.
They should have known. They should have known what was happening.
Idiots. Like, I mean, not idiots, but it's like you guys didn't have an inkling that this was going to happen. But let me read this real quick, and then we'll get into it. King has announced a round of layoffs with a report suggesting that the studio is attempting to replace laid-off staff with AI tools that were developed by the staff themselves. Xbox has undergone 4 rounds of layoffs in the last 18 months, with the most recent round being the most devastating of all, prompting numerous project cancellations and studio closure. One of the studios affected was King, developer of Candy Crush. King was acquired by Xbox with the massive $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. King, and now the studio is set to absorb 200 job cuts. But yeah, that's fucking dirty. You know. So what are you gonna say, Chris?
Oh, I mean, there's a precedent for this in the past too. I mean, I've been, other people too have trained like their replacements and stuff, but this feels more nefarious because they might have been promised that these tools would assist with them and help them, and then all of a sudden it's like, nah, you're fired. We're replacing you with it. I mean, what's after that? Here's your severance. Go talk to it. You'll feel better.
Yeah, it'll help. Yeah, exactly. Microsoft literally said that. Hey, go talk to the AI.
I just want to be clear. The people who developed the AI tools are the ones being fired. It's not just that the company fired people after developing their own AI tools, right? Because like
the people that got fired are now being replaced by the AI tools they helped develop.
Okay, so they did help develop their own replacement.
Yes.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I'm gonna be 100% real. I get that y'all are people who have jobs and feelings and things like that, but I also get that you are people who worked on Candy Crush, an incredibly predatory game that relied heavily on whales and the exploitation of people who have addiction issues. So I don't really feel that bad because I have also too worked for places like phone call centers, giving away free water inspections. And you know why I quit? Because that shit made me feel gross inside. So some people will take jobs, and I'm not condemning people 100%. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, I'm having trouble finding a whole lot of empathy for the developers of Candy Crush.
But here's the thing, like those guys, they're just working, Brett. Like the guys who came up with Candy Crush, who came up with the monetization, they're not losing their jobs. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, I know, but they still chose to work there. They still chose to partake in that endeavor.
Well,
knowing what it does.
I would say chose is a strong word. If that was your only opportunity, and remember, opportunities in tech are shrinking by the day. So that might not have been a choice. You got to eat and take care of your family and whatever.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm not outright condemning them. I'm just I'm trying to. Like, look, as somebody who was looking into going into game development, like I would have sold my left foot before I went into mobile game development, because fuck that noise. That shit is almost entirely predatory, and I want no goddamn part of it. The same way I could go online and teach courses about how to about teaching people how to tattoo through video, but I'm not gonna fucking do that. That's just a terrible decision. Yeah, it may make me some money, but I don't know. Maybe I see the world about more than money.
Yeah. Some of the guys in the chat obviously don't agree with that stance, Brett.
No, I get that, but look, just to put it where my money, where my mouth is. I'm gonna have to note the time here to make sure this doesn't come back and blow me up in the face, because this is the first time I'm announcing this. But I'm shutting down my GoFundMe. I really appreciate everybody who donated, and I know that some people who donated are probably listening here or going to listen here, and I wanted to let you all know here first. I have decided, and it's a terrible business idea, and I'm fully aware of this, but I believe that good deeds need rewarded, so I'm going to double up and give it back. Anybody who donated gets double the credit of whatever they donated towards getting tattooed. So if you donated $200, come on down, get a free $400 tattoo. It's going to wreck my bottom line. It's going to wreck my profits, but I don't care. Goddamn, it's the right thing to do. So, when I say that, look, man, life is about more than measuring the bottom balance of a ledger sheet. I mean that shit, and I mean it when I say that shit. So that's just not. That's my personal opinion, but that's not just lip service. It's how I actually feel, and I live the same way. So.
Yeah. I mean, even though I don't agree with it, I highly respect it. You could have two things. I wouldn't do that at all, because at the end of the day, you need money to live. Get your money how you can, as long as it's fucking legal, And here's the thing. Yeah, I get you, Brett, with the whole Candy Crush thing. It is a horrible, predatory game. But these guys are just doing their job, man. They're just making money, trying to feed their families, keep themselves, like living in society. I don't blame them, and it is King at the end of the day who really created that game. So, but my main issue is it's the principle of it. It's like, or the implication, like you could be working on the thing that's going to replace you. That's fucked up. And I'm speaking.
Bro, we all are. We've been all trading our replacements forever.
Yeah, and it's fucked up. And it's fucked up. Because again, I've seen my own work spit back at me without my credit. And Manny, you've been going through this for way longer than I have.
With the whole factor of art theft. I mean, like AI is just one more art thief out of
AI is fucking military grade art theft.
Yeah. So it's where it could totally recreate something that I created. So it's like, it's either a person's doing it now somebody else a computer's doing it. So
it's fucked up. But
go ahead. I mean, I just said, like, it sucks, and it really sucks for people who, like Manny, obviously didn't sign up for it, and you, Tony, who didn't sign up for it. But like, my big fear is like, I think even if all of us could opt out, I think it would slow this down, but I think enough people would opt in that it would still.
The financial gains of all of this stuff outweighs the voices that are saying no.
Yeah.
When you have a bunch of publicly traded companies like our friends who make Candy Crush, who own the company that make Candy Crush, when you have a bunch of people over there saying, hey, we want more money end over end, you need to cut down the thing, you need to make more profits. So it becomes less about the people that actually did it, or the people that work there, and it's more about getting profit, and it's all that is. This is all this is.
Yeah, it's an unsustainable model.
It's not about efficiency. They keep bullshitting around that garbage. Okay, in certain situations it can make things more efficient, but at the same time, it's like you're taking this game, a game that's already insanely profitable, and you're just literally cutting down all the staff because, hey, look, we can make more money out of that shit.
Yeah,
that's the problem with publicly traded companies, man.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Every single, I would say the pandemic taught us the biggest thing about publicly traded companies and all the bullshittery, with the stonks and all that other shit that's been happening for years. It literally laid that shit right out for everybody. How much these companies just place profit over people, and they'll tell you to your face, yeah, you're important. Then the next minute they'll fucking fire your ass.
Fucking bullshit, man.
Like it's
they'll walk into your studio and say, hey, we love what you're doing. You're so amazing. You're integral part of our company's future. And then the next minute, you're Jim Ryan.
Well, I'll take it a step beyond that. Like, and I've said this before, maybe on here, but like, the thing that genuinely scares me about these things is the combination of the dissemination of responsibility and the constant hunger. And it's almost like we've created this Cthulhu-esque ethereal being. Like it's a being that knows no master, answers to no single entity. It knows nothing but wanting to hoard and greed and make more and more anytime at the expense of human life and suffering. So you have companies like Nestle, right? Like trying to cut off people's water. But then whose fault is it? Whose responsibility is it? Well, it's not the CEOs. He's just talking to the board. The board is just beholden to the stock investors, and the stock investors are just who fucking knows. And so you have this thing that we have created that's always hungry, that churns out despair in the name of profit, who is answerable to no one and is physically untouchable. Like it's like creating some horrible eldritch god of greed that breeds nothing but fucking suffering. And it's not even how much money can we make, it's how much more can we make last time, which is unsustainable. So it's just this weird breakneck thing that is just it's rumbling through people's lives with the precision of a drunk fucking toddler. And people are the only reason we let it go on is because there's a bunch of people standing off to the side placing bets over which building it's going to knock over next and whose livelihood it's going to fucking crush next. Like, I don't want to come across as a complete loon fucking socialist, but like, there has to be a better way. Even dividends, motherfucker. Like, can we just not like reward a company for already being successful and not expect them to be upwardly mobile financially forever and ever with no end until one day they explode and everybody loses everything?
Yeah, rewarding a company with a tax break when they took when they took all of their workforce and outsourced it. That's the old ways, right?
You know what? I'm going to say this, and not to get political, right? And we're already kind of venturing there. We're bemoaning capitalism, and I'm saying this that generally, I think capitalism has been a good thing, but it's obviously showing its bad side. But I find it interesting how generally capitalists are like, right wing, right? Yet if at its core, what you just described, Brett, is progressivism. There is no being satisfied. You have to keep going and going and going and going. So it's this weird thing that is generally seen as like a right wing thing, but it's progressive in its like, we need to keep going. There is no stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's like, whatever happened to, hey, we're good. Leave it here. If we need to fix things, if we need to fix things, cool. But there is no good enough. There is no steady as she goes. That's not a thing. But I'm like, why can't it be a thing? It's like but again, I don't want to get into because this whole brings in the whole thing of like,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Aaron, I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
because like I'm just talking dividends right here, right? Like that's why I said like I don't mean to sound like a crazy like I'm coming out of. Don't get me wrong, democratic socialism is kind of probably where I think the sweet spot is like yeah, I probably need some safety nets for people to fall through, but like we should still reward people for fucking working hard, right? Like, and that's what dividends still is, right? Like if you invest in a company and that company makes money, they pay you for how successful they are.
I like dividends. I like getting dividends every quarter from my stocks. Keeping it real, man. I'm like, ooh,
right?
That's
like
nice.
That dividends is a bunch, and like that just means that like, hey, we want you to make money and keep making money, like in a sustainable way that is going to keep paying me, right? Like it aligns your needs with the needs of the business, right? When you got motherfucking Target out here, like Target's just like what, racing itself to see how fast it can crash itself into the ground before people like, and how much money it can make people before it just gives out. Like it's like riding a horse to exhaustion, right? Like it's self-destructive. And it's more on like the angry part that it makes me is it's fucking stupid. It's just like running a horse into the ground. You're not going to get where you're going faster that way.
Yeah.
Right. Like long term, it's just a terrible idea. And in the middle of that, like we're all just making life worse for everybody in the meanwhile, because like we're making stupid decisions because we're just desperately trying to go a little faster than we did last time. Right. Like you would ask that of an athlete, right? You would ask them to show upward gradual improvement, right? Not you have to be last into the fast lap at any cost. I don't care if you tear your Achilles, right? Like what about the lap after that? Yeah, worry about the lap after that.
Yeah, no, you're right about it. Think about it because let's say, like this year's like best racer, like next year, he wins the race, but he made a slower time. Oh, he didn't do as well. But he still won. Like, what the fuck? You're asking something unrealistic, man. But this is just the way it is. And by the way, there's something else I wanted to bring up. Not surprising at all that one of the big reasons that Microsoft laid off all those people, and Chris and I were talking about this, okay, nothing's been official yet. This is just my speculation. I think the whole middle management thing was a fucking red herring because we now found out that a lot of the reason and this is official, a lot of the reason why they cut all those jobs is because of AI. They need more money to invest in AI. You know, so I think the middle management thing, even though there probably were some assholes that just didn't need to be there, you know, those dudes are just in meetings all fucking day, don't work. I'm pretty sure some of those guys get it off, but I really think the middle management thing was a red herring to not, you know, look over here while over here we're fucking making more money off of AI. That's what they don't want you to talk about. You know, that's my theory.
You know, I said they needed more money to start up 3 Mile Island.
Yeah, it's shit.
Well, yeah, they paid New York billions to or Pennsylvania.
Chris, I'll let you go next. This is the epitome of the monkey's paw. For you guys who don't know what the monkey's paw is like, you get your wish, but there's a caveat. I've been a huge proponent of nuclear energy. I think nuclear energy can get us out of all the problems we've been having, you know, with oil and shit like that. Now Microsoft's talking about, oh, let's build nuclear reactors for AI. Yes, I want nuclear energy, but not for that. It's like, what the fuck?
What about people?
Yeah.
It's like, not for us. Just for data
Tony.
centers.
Yeah.
Yo, Tony, you call it the monkey's paw. I call it the leprechaun wish.
That's a good one too. But I gotta give a shout out to the Simpsons. You know, remember the last wish? I want a turkey sandwich, a little mayo, and he's eating it. He's like, oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Dry.
Oh, it's turkey's a little dry. What demon from the depths of hell created this? Oh man, go ahead, Chris. I had to go off about the monkey's paw thing. It's like, I want nuclear power, but not like that, bro. Imagine I wake up in the morning, I see a fucking nuclear reactor, and I know that shit's just fucking being used for AI, and then the next day I lose my fucking job. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, just the race to AI is causing it is a human cost to it that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because it's like we have power needs, like you said, right?
Yeah.
You know, we don't need more coal plants. We don't need more oil. Nuclear power can generate way more gigawatts more than that stuff, right? That's what we should be investing in. But to say like, we just wanted to power data centers. Well, that's a lousy use for it, because if you're getting nuclear power just to power data centers, those nuclear plants need a lot of water. You put them in near residential areas, they don't have water now, do they? Right? This is happening, I think, I don't know if it's Georgia and Louisiana might have put a data center there, and people are complaining that they don't have good water anymore.
Of course, because they need to cool the fucking nuclear plants. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a cost to this, and I think there's a race with all, like billions of dollars at stake. All these companies are racing. It's like an arms race, right?
Yeah.
Fucking AI, but at the cost, we're not reaping benefits. Like, oh, you get to use this AI, yeah, but I don't get more power. You're drawing more power than anything, and nobody gets the benefit of these nuclear plants you're throwing up, and you're taking more water. So it's nuts.
I didn't even know what a nuclear pant was before I worked here. Shout out to this from Simpsons, man. Go ahead.
By the way, to tie a bow on everything and circling back to something Brett talked about with the dividends, where a lot of the money that's going into all this stuff we invested with under the previous administration and the current administration, we ain't getting any of those dividends, man. Our tax money.
Fuck. Give me my fucking money, bro. I purposely this year left doing my taxes until like April 13th, because last year I got so fucking pissed. I was like, I'm saving this till later. I'm saving this till later. And I still got pissed. It's like it's my fucking money, man. You're fucking taking it to fucking sponsor and support shit I don't even believe in, you know? Anyway, let's move on to this other thing. A little bit of levity, but it's still tied to AI. So I had a Microsoft employee, because obviously a lot of Xbox people, got fired. So they put up they created this AI image that said Xbox graphics is hiring, right? And it had, this woman, at her keyboard, nice little image until you look, and you don't have to look that close. The fucking graphics are on the back of the keyboard of the monitor.
The monitor, yeah.
Like, wait, what? So okay, I don't know what's worse. The fact that, AI generated this bullshit image, or the fact that the person decided, oh, that's good, upload. I'm going to go with 2. I think the person's fucking retarded. You didn't see it that the fucking displays on the back?
Obviously, they need people.
Yeah. By the way,
They need somebody
There's the job right there. Take somebody you fired and give that job to them.
Yeah. By the way, I forgot what industry this was for, but basically, there was this one industry that they like replaced 60% of the workers with AI, but then they had to rehire a bunch of them because AI fucked things up. So that's one of my saving graces out there. That basically my hope is that, and this is me as white pill as I can, which is still a little black pill, that things are going to get so bad when it comes to AI, people will beg for fucking humans to come back. You know, but obviously, how many jobs were we lost between that? But that is my great hope. Things are gonna get so fucked up. People are like, come back, please. We fucked up. We fucked up. You know, what's going on? Yeah, go ahead.
That's how this all works.
Yeah,
like Meta builds all these data centers. They power them with nuclear power. AI goes to hell, and then we have nuclear power.
Hey, see, that's the white pill right there. I like that, Brian. But yeah, let's dunk on this fucking graphic. What the fuck? Yo, by the way, Carlos, I don't know if you have the ability to put this up on the screen. This shit is funny, man.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, but yeah, did you guys see the? By the way, shout out to Adam.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
How you doing? Yeah, Chris, what are your thoughts on this stupid ass graphic?
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous, but the fact that somebody looked at that and went, "Yep, there's our marketing image for graphics hiring." You know, yeah, it's good. It's like there's so many things wrong with that. It's like, but Steve Jobs said this a long time ago. He had an interview where, and Manny knows this, like marketing people, whatever. He said they can't tell a good product from a bad product. They cannot judge art or anything because they don't understand it, right?
Oh shit!
These people understand numbers or whatever, but you show them like a shitty drawing of a cat and Garfield, they're gonna think it's the same thing. Like that's how bad it is. So the fact that this person looked at this image, there's obviously a screen. The screen is backwards, and they're like, yeah, you know, that looks fine. That's great. And then
there it is. Look at this thing.
And then, of course, like that's the inherent problem. Is like the AI generated that, and it's like, well, it's wrong in multiple ways, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like you cannot remove the human factor from this stuff. You're not close to that, but they're going to do it anyway.
The displays on the back of the monitor, bro.
And that's a commonly, and that not to mention. You know, when I looked at that's a commonly used like AI model that was used for like people generate those type of image, that specific type of style of image all the damn time. You know,
yeah.
How many people looked at this though? Like during a meeting, I was like, "Yeah, let's go with that."
Yeah, they were like, "That's good."
I'm sure Phil saw it. I'm sure all of them fucking saw it and just said, "Good enough, put it out."
It's amazing.
Now, what are the chances they're playing 4D chess here and showing us like, yes, clearly Xbox graphics need people, and they're kind of dog whistling how badly they need people.
That is some big brain shit right there, bro.
I don't think it's that big brain for them.
Oh man! By the way, I gotta tell a related story because we're dunking on AI, man. Okay, so. For the last few months, just naturally, okay, for you writers out there, gotta have stuff. There you go. Okay. Anyway, for the last few months, I've stopped using EM dashes in my writing just because I've just gotten bored with using them. Basically, you kind of use that as like slash just for emphasis. But I just gotten artistically kind of bored with it. Now, but so again, that happened. And I was like, I just don't want to use this stuff as much anymore, right? Then yesterday at work, I overheard one of my colleagues saying that people now associate EM dashes with AI writing. So I'm like, okay, something I had considered not using, I will absolutely never use again now. So that is an example of like AI influencing how people work, because if you don't want to be misconstrued for AI, you're going to change the way you draw or you write, just to not be mistaken for that. That is crazy. I am now again, I had already been doing this naturally, but now I'm conscious going, I'm never using that shit again. That's crazy, dude.
There's a certain application I use to write my reviews and stuff like that. And now, and I had to turn this feature off, when I go and I start writing a sentence, it'll start recommending the rest of the
rest
sentence.
Of it. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I was
the
like, oh,
AI
we should say this.
autocompletes.
Yeah, but not even
Yeah.
autocomplete, but it's I guess also reading what I wrote. So let's say certain parts, somebody walks into a room and then finds a dog, and then as I'm talking about in this room, it's like, do you want to mention the dog? You know, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no, man. It's like, stop reading my shit. Computer now trying to hack me, you know. But I could see this as a pro and a con. Let's say if you're stuck, you know, I'm like, how should I go? You could use that as an example. But the worst case is that let's say you keep going with it, and then other people keep going with it, then everybody's shit sounds the same because they're like, wait, why is he using the same wording or the same, you know, vocabulary in certain things? It was like, because everyone's fucking using the same AI.
That's the problem with a bunch of the AI stuff, is that they all have the same sounding, like, you know, the same sounding writing.
Yeah.
It all sounds like it comes from this same sort, like, you know, what makes a piece of writing sound like you? It's the words that you use, it's your sentence structure, it's a lot of different things that make it sound like you.
I talk real loose lips, and if somebody would definitely call me out if they see all these big ass words coming up, and they're like, "Yo, this ain't him."
You start rolling out the $50 words.
Like Adam don't talk like that. You know, if Adam had AI writing shit, you'd tell real quick because this motherfucker writes the way he talks. You know.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I'll probably go up tomorrow. My review of RoboCop.
Yeah.
I put a lot of funny shit in that one.
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, not AI, not written by AI, man.
No AI, no AI.
By the way, I'll say this: some insider stuff. Like my company is like they bought the pro version of Google Gemini, and they've encouraged us to use it. I'm being obstinate. I'm not using that shit at all. You know, fuck that.
Why would they want that though? Why would they want everybody?
But the thing is, there's people in the office. Here's the thing: the writers don't use it, but the marketing people use it. They're like, oh, it writes my emails for me. And I'm like, it's a fucking email. It's the easiest thing, you know. But yeah, it's amazing. Like, oh, but it summarizes for me. I'm like, you don't know how to read?
Oh well,
yeah,
like you want a summary? Read the fucking thing yourself. You know.
So this is a silly thing. So a while ago, I was having some issues with getting paid from a specific job.
Yeah.
I went back and forth with a bunch of the people there, and then finally I got to the people in human resources to try to get me paid. So I emailed them, and they reply back, and then it says, "Say to Emilio this, and this."
The prompt was there?
They left. Oh, man. The fucking email. They left the fucking prompt in the email.
There was a book author that got caught with that. Like somebody found the prompt in her fucking book. Bro.
Oh, man.
But here's another one, and I always you got the jokes, Carlos. I got the email. The email that keep coming in. Lately, not lately. I should say.
They sound like AI, don't they?
They're just long. Usually, it's like a paragraph to, "Hey, you interested in covering this and that? Let me know." Now it's like 2 pages. I'm like, who's sitting there writing all this?
They're
crap?
not.
They didn't do this.
They're not writing it.
They're just telling AI, write some really good shit to hype up this game I'm trying to promote to get these people to cover. And I'm getting these long. I get to the first paragraph. I'm like, this ain't real. Delete. I'm not messing with this.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There's this one company. I'm not gonna say. I started like recently started talking to. I'm like, this is AI generated shit. Like the responses are just too like yes. Thank you for talking with us. We look forward to your written review of blah blah. I'm like, why would you say written review? You say review. What the fuck?
They're totally AIing it.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett. I heard you trying to get in here.
Well, since the show's short, I can go ahead and stir the pot a little bit here. It's probably like the most AI friendly, and that does not mean AI friendly. Just I want to clarify that again. The most does not mean I am, but I think I am the most friendly in the sense that I do see a place for it to replace the menial workload. Like if I wanted to do animation, right, I could see offloading and like just kind of doing key animation and trying to find a way to fill in AI with that, or like one of the few things I had seen that I would even consider as a tattoo artist was they had showed a thing in Adobe Photoshop where they drew a dinosaur, and then they're like, look, we can rotate it. And I was like, do you motherfuckers know how many times I have finished the design? They were like, that's awesome. Can we turn it just a little bit? I'm like, so basically redraw the whole thing. Yep, absolutely, sure. So like I think that there are tools. And so that being said, Tony, I know you say you're obstinate, but my question to you is like, why don't you just use it like an old-timey secretary where you can just kind of like shoot ideas to it, have it summarize them back to you, and then go through and use that as kind of like,
because those ideas are not coming from a real person. It's coming from a program that's searching the internet for whatever the fuck, it thinks I want and throws it back at me. Like, no.
You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. I said you kind of like speak to the air, right? Like as if you had like a 1960s secretary named Janet sitting there and you're like, take down some of these ideas, Janet. Now I feel like this way, and I feel like this way, and I feel like this way, and I feel like this way. Can you read those back to me? Okay, now compose them in a chronological order. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Go ahead and send those into an email for me later so I have a reminder of what I was thinking. Like, is there no value in some of that?
No, because I do that myself every day. I don't need a secretary or an AI assistant, as they call it, do that. I do that shit myself,
Okay, and you don't think that you could do it faster with a secretary?
It doesn't matter. Going back to the whole...
it does.
Yeah, no, that to me it doesn't. I'd rather do it myself than, quote unquote, do it faster, Like, fuck that. I'd rather do it myself,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So you're saying anybody who had the help of a secretary doesn't do things?
No, themselves? I'm not worried about that. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me right now.
You did say him specifically.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you're talking about me. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm not, and I'm saying like I guess I should have phrased that as like, is your opinion on other people who used secretaries in the 60s and the 70s? Do you count them not have done things themselves?
No, because they not only is the idea coming from them, but they're also giving it to another person. That's the thing. Because the other person may go, hey, what about this? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not ripping it off of something that somebody else had written. Like maybe...
Okay, but yeah.
But
you keep coming back to... you keep going back to like asking AI to summarize things off the internet for you. That's not what I said.
But that's what it is at the end.
That's what it is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
AI doesn't create, it steals. It doesn't create anything new. It can't hit a spark of innovation or imagination. It's incapable of doing that. I want that from a human, because sometimes they'll hit me with some shit. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even consider that. That's fucking awesome. But AI can't do that.
Also, not to mention every single bit of what you put into it, it becomes part of the collective.
Yeah.
So your unique ideas become part of all of that. Anything, currently Photoshop, the big thing about Photoshop nowadays is that it's looking, especially the new versions, are literally training themselves off of the work that you do.
Yeah.
And that's
whether or not you use the AI at all.
Yeah.
So like now we can't use Photoshop.
The big deal.
Going back to your whole thing about consent, Brent, it's like whether we consent to it or not, it's fucking
and
dystopian fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah. I don't know. And like, again, that's fucked up. Like, we all just have to stop using Photoshop, right?
No,
that's
not real. That's not realistic,
Okay, well, hold on. So we're all just So we're all just continuing to train. I don't use Photoshop. I use Procreate. Like, are y'all still, despite talking shit on it, still using it and training the models?
What's the alternative?
I'm not using a new version of Photoshop. I'm using a 20-year-old version of it.
There you go.
The same one that I bought years ago.
But Brett, the whole thing with training models, they don't even need to be done in those to even train them. Like Manny's work is in the internet. It's public. Like they can train just of getting Manny's work from DeviantArt, for example.
Which also
there are programs you can use.
Which also DeviantArt already had a scraper on there too.
Are you guys using Hemlock?
I don't even know what that is.
What is that?
Hemlock is a thing that puts an invisible pixelated code over your artwork. That
it's art stuff. I don't use art stuff, so I don't know.
It basically poisons the AI.
Yeah, it essentially puts something into the background of it.
I like that idea, Brett. I like that.
If like you can't see it with the human eye, but it fucks up any AI that tries to learn from programming with
That's
it.
cool.
And not only does it fuck it up, but like it actively fucks up the programming data, so they have to manually go in there and scrape it,
And pull
or
it out.
it
Yeah.
actively
That's cool.
to generate the source material. So like, yeah,
So
like I'm not saying like what I'm talking about is like, hey, I know a lot of people use AI in really shitty ways, and I'm not happy about the way that it's used either. What I was saying was like, again, not an advocate of AI, but like I advocate of like, I think that there are ways that I can think of ways that I can use it. Like if I want to write a book, right? Like, am I really just going to sit in front of a fucking computer?
Yes,
Like no,
that's
like,
how
like,
it's fucking
people are-
done, man.
No, it's not. No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
People have walked
Brett,
around-
I've written
Bro.
I've written 2 fucking full manuscripts, 120,000 words each, fucking novellas, all by myself, no AI. And that's how people have done it for fucking hundreds of years. It can be done.
Okay, and so you're saying people haven't used things like, I don't know, a handheld recorder to put down notes and ideas?
That's a fucking tool. It's not scraping the fucking internet off of other people's shit.
Bro! Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Like
I don't think you understand how AI works enough.
Brett, I'm a fucking tech journalist that works with fucking AI writers. I know I probably know more than you do. So you don't give me that shit, man. You're looking at this thing.
You're saying there's no way to use AI without it scraping other people's stuff off the internet.
There probably is. Like if it's a localized AI, sure. But if you're using ChatGPT, that's always online, bro. You know, shit like that. Yes, there are AI that you can just use locally. Yes. And you can, you know, if you want, train it to, you know, mimic your style. Yes, that does exist. But generally speaking, the most amount of people are using the AI that's already out there that's scraping everything, you know?
Okay, so in one instance you say like, well, what other choice do I have but to help train it? And then in another instance you're saying, I don't use it because that would train it?
Well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Slice my throat and just, like, not live? Like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
No, I just want you to be intellectually consistent.
I am fucking consistent. I can't do anything about this shit. So I'm just going to fucking complain. That's all I could do. You know? What do you want me to do? Stop, just cut myself off from reality, go live in the fucking mountains? That's the only way I could be intellectually consistent. You know? I'm living in the fucking real world, and I have to do what I need to.
You could recognize that despite, no matter how much none of us like this, that it is in fact going to be a thing that plays.
No, it is the thing. That's why I'm fucking complaining. Because it's a fucking thing. I can't do shit about it. The only thing I can do is complain. I fucking recognize it. But I'm not going to be, oh, AI is great. It's here to stay. I love AI. It's the greatest thing ever. Fuck, that's intellectually dishonest, bro. Fuck that shit. You know? It's like, again, I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to just like, oh, it's like, this is cool. This is fine. It's all good. You know, like,
well, no, no, it's like you said, it's here. What other choice do you have? Like, it's a thing that are you just going to self-limit yourself? I mean, I guess you can.
I am. I'm gonna keep avoiding AI as much as possible. But obviously, I can't stop it from stealing my shit. But I can't stop myself from using it. I have control in that sense. You know.
I don't use that. I don't use fucking TikTok.
What happened?
That's. I didn't hear what I said, but like that's.
No, I just said I don't use it as well, and the same thing with TikTok. I just you know, it's our choice. We just don't want to support or use it, so that's.
Yeah, so that's fine, and that's fine. But like I think that there's a way to ethically use it.
Yeah, I think that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. That's horseshit. Yeah.
As far as ethically sourced AI models.
Yeah, exactly. Ethically sourced stolen shit.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, ethically sourced stolen shit, as in like what? Like what
that's pretty much what it is. Ethically, there's nothing. Whenever they throw out that term, ethically sourced AI training, it's garbage. It's bullshit because it never was. They're all using the same thing.
I didn't say ethically sourced. I said ethical ways to use it.
But if
it's, I'm not asking it to generate pictures for me. I'm not asking it to publish works for me. I can feed it data and ask it to reconstruct that data and organize it for me. I can ask it to transcribe things for me. If I want to ask it to help me write a book by only using my ideas, I'm pretty sure I can do that.
Well, I'm not gonna.
I'm pretty sure
yeah, obviously you can. It's a
thing is-
free country, you know. You
The
can go right ahead.
The thing is, you know, again, it's like, then this is what we're talking about, protections of the original works. The work that you would be publishing, depending on how much of it is AI written, a lot of it you may not even own. You only own the phrase that you use to generate that stuff, or whatever bit of information that you put in there. But whatever construction that you put out of that, that's not yours.
You guys,
It's a derivative. It is a derivative work.
Yep.
You guys always assume that AI is the last stage and not the first.
Okay, explain that.
Like it wouldn't. Like what? Who the fuck said anything about a prompt, Manny?
That's what you're putting in.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay,
That's
so what
what
is
I'm
it?
saying. Like, yeah, you don't
So
seem
what
to have
is
any
it?
idea what I'm talking about.
Your prompt would.
Well,
be,
you're probably talking about something that doesn't exist. Then you know that's what it sounds
I
like.
could sit there and talk to Gemini and ask Gemini to summarize and organize.
That sounds
the
like
things
a
that we have talked
prompt.
about today.
That sounds like
That's
a prompt.
You're giving it a command.
Yeah,
So
that's a
your
prompt.
is
You're
this.
prompting it. That's a prompt.
Okay, and the fact that I'm asking it to summarize my information means nothing.
You trust it that it's doing that. It's not also going, hey, let me look over here. You know, it's like,
Well, I mean, again, it's like you don't like you honestly believe that all the stuff that you're putting, the original information that you're putting into this thing isn't going to train the rest of it.
Oh yeah,
You
but
don't
I think
like-
a lot of
but
you have
it's
to
like,
use current
but then
Photoshop
it's
in a lot
not.
of things.
What was that?
go ahead,
But
Brett.
yeah, but I assume you have to use current Photoshop for a lot of your actual jobs. Like we all have to
No,
opt
I
in
don't
where we have
use
to
current
opt in.
Photoshop. I don't use current Photoshop, and my game studio, when that new update was coming along, they said they were not going to be upgrading to the AI version of Photoshop because it compromises our fucking confidentiality. Because the shit that we own is going to train something else.
So
Yeah.
This
real
is
quick,
precisely why we stopped using.
Yeah, I should add that that's a feature that we were all told to enable when we started using Google Gemini Pro. It's like disable the part where it takes your shit and puts it online. So there is ways around it, and I hope more companies do that. You know, but the thing is, like, I think the water's already been spoiled with the shit we have there.
But I don't think. But I don't think most people know any better to do anything like that.
No, they don't.
They'll just be like, they'll just continuously feed into it and put everything into it, and it keeps going and going. And it's like, what is the problem? What is the problem with learning to do this stuff yourself? I don't like to use this as a crutch.
Yeah.
But for all of my life, I've had dyslexia. I can't spell for fucking shit. Now, I would be probably the one that would probably be the most open to be using fucking AI, right? Because I can't do this. No matter how much I do it over and over and over again, years and years, I have to concentrate and read things over and over and over again in order to even know if there's anything wrong with it. And there's still fucking shit wrong with it. But I still won't use that shit because it's not mine. I didn't do it. If there's a mistake, that's my mistake. It's not some fucking bullshit that's doing this thing.
You don't use autocorrect?
What, do we use autocorrect? I use autocorrect, but the thing that's not AI. I'm not feeding into shit.
The problem is now autocorrect has been it is AI, unfortunately.
Now autocorrect has
and it's
AI,
worse than it's ever been. Grammarly was really good back in the day. By the way, I'm going to say this and then we'll move on because even though this, I'm letting it open because this is really good discussion. And by the way, this is how you have a discussion where you disagree with shit, but you don't fucking like hate on each other.
Well, I want to say one thing before you tone it down, though, because
just about AI, I'm going to bring up. But yeah, go ahead and then I'll get to my piece because it's something I think you and any artist here will understand. Even though I'm coming from a writer standpoint, I think you guys will understand. But go ahead, Brett.
Okay, I'll go after Tony.
Yeah,
if I want to say, use AI to pull up images of Shinto temples and then take that to my computer and use that as a reference to then transform that into a different kind of work, and then don't upload that to the AI. All I've actually really taught it to do is help me research something. If I tell it if I tell it my life story and then say, help summarize this for me, and then I use that as a bullet point list to then use that to keep me on track to write my own memoirs, and I have transformed it from something that it knows, and I'll re-upload that to the AI. Like I am just using as a tool to create a transformative work. So tell me how that is not mine.
If you've gotten if those Shinto shrines that you're talking about, if they were originally generated by AI, it's not yours. Now, if you were to take original photos, for example, and upload them to your own little localized AI, then you're not stealing, it's not generating some shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you could do it more ethically, I would think.
Also, I mean, a lot of, I understand I understand the reference thing.
Yeah.
But the one caveat behind, unfortunate part of that is because it's been trained off of a lot of these sorts of things, you sort of get a bunch of errors that are inaccurate. Yeah. Kind of like the way, if you're looking for, like, that's the biggest issue that I've had as of late, doing image searches, where essentially trying to trying to suss out what images are not AI, because especially when it comes to those things, there are like all kinds of weird stuff that is all just wrong about these images. I want an image of a real Shinto shrine to work from.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like if I would ask it to bring me real pictures, like, and an especially good one would be like, hey, pull up a slew of pictures that show dynamic Shinto shrines, like real photos of dynamic.
A lot of artists have been using AI for reference like that, as using it more as like a search engine rather than an actual thing. But yeah, there's always that problem that whatever you're seeing may not exactly be the proper thing. If it's the usual things that show up with those things, because it's essentially melding results together. So you'll get like, hey, look, there's somebody's head is upside down, or like their hands are all screwy, stuff like that, and you're like, oh wait, what is this? That's the thing. Also the you drawing from an AI is not considered theft. So because AI doesn't belong to anybody, right? You tracing over an AI image, theoretically, you owned that drawing.
Oh no! No. Nobody tracing. No, I wasn't talking.
But yeah,
no.
But I'm saying, like,
I
if
hate
you
tracing.
use, but if you're using, but again, like, if you're drawing from that thing, because it is a transformative work, you actually own that thing. And that's what a lot of people have been doing when it comes to AI generated character design. They've been generating AI. That's what's going currently on the business, right? Because they know that they can't own the AI generated drawing, right? What they'll do is they'll hire an artist to redraw that drawing so that they own it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, dystopia, baby. Let's go. But
bro. Like, here's the thing. This shit has existed. Like, I don't know where the line blurs between like this and SketchUp, right? Like I was heartbroken to find out that more comics than I cared to admit, non on this panel, just saying, don't actually draw backgrounds for their comic books.
Yeah, the 3D shit, right, Brett? Yeah.
They've been using, even SketchUp is really not
used
now. Now you can what is it? Clip Studio Paint. Actually, you can download like 3D models and put them behind these things too.
Yeah, like, and to me that makes me feel like, well, that feels like that drawing is not yours now, because you've cheated and kind of just downloaded full models. So I don't know, man. I don't know where the line is.
Yeah, it does get blurry. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It is blurry. I'm not a fan of that either. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, draw your own shit. You're the artist. Draw it. You know. But this is the thing I want to say. Then Carlos, you go next. And Brett, you know, I think this might be a thing where you disagree with me, but you'll understand where I'm coming from, right? My main talent is writing, right? Every day I get one, and this is not even theoretical, I feel it. I get one experience point. I get a little better. Every day I get a little better, a little better, a little better. Over years, I get it a lot better. When I read shit that I've written even a year ago, I'm like, damn, I'm fucking better. To me, if I were to suddenly go, okay, let's use AI, I feel that experience would just stop. I would stop growing. And I'm like, if I'm not growing, then why am I even bothering, right? So I don't want that. I don't want to introduce the possibility of this thing hindering me. Just in the same way I've lost the ability to remember phone numbers, I don't want that to happen with me with my fucking writing. So even if it's detrimental to me, I will continue writing my own shit, editing my own shit until I lose my fucking job. Because that's, at least I could say I did it. Nobody did the shit for me. I didn't fucking cheat. I know that may sound stupid, but at least I have my integrity, you know, even if I'm fucking destitute on the fucking street, you know, when AI puts me out of a job, you know.
Your phone number in Queens, was it 575? Did it start with that?
That's mine.
That was it? All right, cool. See,
That's
I still
mom's.
remember. I still remember.
Anyway, go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah, like, to be fair to Brett, I completely understand like where he's coming from, because you know the thing with AI, it's everything and anything, like when it comes to the discussion that has been taken on. I mean, I can for example, Tony can get his one of his novels, put it into AI and say, hey, could you count the number of times that I used on it, just so I can delete some don't overuse it. So, you know, that's a way to use AI where, you know, I think we can all agree Tony's not really using AI to help him write, like,
and I would never do
come
that
up with
either.
A story or,
yeah,
sure, but but what I'm saying is like it's not really detrimental to your creativity or to your work or to your, you know, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. And you know, you can use AI as a calculator. You know, are the Abacus people going to be pissed off? Pretty sure they are, but you know, there's a lot of ways that people can use AI. But yes, but Brett, I agree with Brett with that. But what I will tell you, Brett, it's like I said, it's everything and anything. Like it's what you have envisioned for it, which you feel is ethical. But there's also everything else, which most people in the world are going to use it for, which is the stuff that, you know, Tony and Manny have been talking about. So, you know, it's just
well, that's just most people are garbage. So,
yeah,
you know, they're going to be
I'll say this: if Brett used AI, I know that shit will be ethical, you know. But a lot of people ain't that, you know.
No,
I don't like sitting around and just sitting in front of a computer. Like when I do creative writing, I like usually get hit by moments of inspiration. I'll like pull out my phone and either pull out like an audio app or something like that and like record notes for myself. So like when I was like script building, I, you know, kind of take those notes and then come home, put them into a bulletin board and then, you know, shuffle around my story beats and everything like that. Like, and there's a lot of stuff that I could use now, like just in terms of like, you know, like, hey, dictate this and do that. And honestly, all I want from AI is to use it like a 1960s ship computer. Be like, computer, take this note. You know, I don't really want it generating anything. And I honestly think that people who actually use it to generate stuff are honestly fucking hacks who are trying to convince themselves that they don't need to learn artistic skill or draw to be artists, and that's just taking the shortcut way.
Yeah,
out.
that's it. But I'm glad you said that, Brett, because that's one of my problems. Like, for example, there's this book publishing publication had to shut down because they just got thousands of AI written stories in like the span of a month. It's like everybody's they want the shortcut. They don't want that struggle. That struggle is what you need to get better. That journey, you know.
It does, but I think the thing that frustrates me the most is like, when you're talking about AI, like the true power that it gives you is it gives you a whole team behind you, right? Like if I want to build animatics and then use those animatics to go into key animation, and then in theory have it help me kind of fill in between and do some of the grunt work and the background work, right? Like I could be, take on the role of a creative director at a full animation company while it just being me and one or two other guys. Like that adaptability would be amazing. I've always wanted to do animation, never been able to get into it. But like, and like I could use it in my tattooing in the sense of like, it would be nice to manage my appointments, and it would be nice to schedule social media posts for me, like all the shit that I hate doing. Would I ever ask it to like draw a design for me? Fuck no, that take all the authenticity out of it. But would I ask it to like clip together a video for my social media that I don't want to fucking deal with? Yeah. I would absolutely use it to do the parts of my job that I don't want to do, so I could focus on the parts of my job that I do want to do, which is designing tattoos and tattooing them on people. Everything else, I don't fucking like. That used to be like 4 other people's jobs, right? Like you used to have a front girl. For those of old to remember, like you used to have a 20-something-year-old girl with a bunch of piercings and dyed hair whose job was to sit in the front and deal with your ass before the actual tattoo artist had to talk to you. Now we can't afford that shit. Like I have no first lines of defense. I don't know if you even know what you want, but like having something that could try and transcribe some person's inane weird ass ramblings into a shorthand message that says it sounds like they want a lion with blue eyes and a crown on its head. I'd be like, okay, cool, gotcha, fam, I know what's up. And then I can schedule, and then it could be like, you have a consultation scheduled for this. I consulted your Google Calendar. Like that shit would all be fucking great. But
do you plan
never
to?
Ever would I wanted to actually do the art for me.
Yeah. Do you plan to, like, when you get back into it, like fully back in the game, or do you plan to use this stuff?
Yes, I was actually learning. And honestly, it's that I sat down and I asked Gemini, and I was talking to Gemini about like, hey, how would I be able to leverage AI in a way that would relieve my workload, considering that as a tattoo artist, I can only tattoo one person at a time. And the first thing came back with is, oh, well, you could license your designs, and I said, I don't really think so. I think authenticity is going to be big in tattooing, so I'm talking about more behind the scenes things, so I can actually take on more of the creative outlook. And it can help me do other things, like it can apparently interact directly with my social media. It can judge algorithms and tell me which posts are performing and which ones aren't. It can schedule posts for me. It can make reminders. It can edit video footage.
Yeah. By the way, I'm laughing because it's literally spiel I have to hear every single day from marketing. Everything you're saying now, it's like, oh, here we go. I have to hear this shit every day.
It's shit that I genuinely can't do, right? Like I'm not good at hyping myself, right? Like I'm the quiet, isolated, creative type. Like I don't like going out there, beating my chest. I don't like doing a lot of self promotion. I quietly put my work out there, and letting it speak for itself, right? So I'm not good at that stuff, and it honestly, it does hold my business back. I've seen people with that. My fucking apprentice is more business savvy with social media than me, and there are times that he was pulling in more money than I was, and I'm like, bro, like this guy's been tattooing for 2 years. His tattoos, they're not up to caliber with mine. Why is he making more money? And he's angling his business, and he's being smart about it. And so like even other things like, hey man, like I just figured out ways that I can use like AI to help automate the back end of taking a design and printing it on print-on design clothes or whatever, using AI to help with like putting the mock-up of whatever the design is on the clothing, and then shipping it off to a drop shipping company, and like being the middleman between all of that. So I could just focus on doing designs, and then I could run a storefront that had like stickers and t-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff like that without actually having to maintain an inventory myself. And then if I do want to maintain an inventory for a higher profit share, then I can, and I can do inventory management for me. Nobody likes inventory management. Anybody who's ever done retail hates that shit. So like, yeah, I'm finding that there's a lot of ways that I would be really interested in utilizing in the back end, but none of these are really creative pursuits. They're all just mundane bullshit that I don't want to deal with, because it takes gas out of my tank, and that's more time that I don't like. I just want to hyper focus on drawing all day, dude. Like that's I didn't sign up for all the social media bullshit. I signed up for knowing how to work on my tattoo machine, having good people skills, and doing good art. And that is all I want to do. I don't want to do fucking comedy sketches on TikTok for you. I'm not your fucking clown, right? Like, so I'll just, set up a ring light and like I would even be fine with like like Twitch streaming live tattoos, right? Like that might be a fun experience for some people, but like I don't know. I'd love to utilize and leverage some of this technology, but part of me doesn't want to learn it. The other part of me doesn't want to utilize it anywhere other than the background. So this is just kind of an easy win for me where I'm like, yeah, I guess I could try and relearn half of my job at the age of 40, or I honestly could just let it do this, because here's the other scary thing. AI is going to the point where like it's completely like it doesn't touch the actual tattoo artist, but it touches the tattoo portfolios, because now you can AI generate a tattoo portfolio that makes it look like you do good work, which is awful. So I think
that's
Instagram,
bad.
Well, that's going to crumble the foundation that all of our portfolios stand on, which means it's probably going to collapse back into who do you know that, who have you seen good tattoo work from? Because you can't trust the internet necessarily.
Yeah, that's fucking dystopian shit.
It is.
You can't trust the portfolios that are coming. That's all over the place too.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's start moving on. But yeah, again, I let it go because not only was it like we didn't have a lot to talk about, it was a good fucking discussion, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, I thought I could start a pot a little bit here.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Last two things I want to talk about. This is more, glazing ourselves. Because when we reported about the Xbox Asus ROG Ally, some of us, me and Carlos specifically, speculated that it might cost between $599, $899, probably $599 for the lower end version, $899 for the higher end version. If this leak that came out is true, Carlos, I think you and I may be Miss Cleo again, bro.
Uh-oh.
All right, so yeah, go ahead, bro.
I mean, yeah, it seemed like that's what the case was going to be, considering the fact, and I will say this, I deserve my Miss Cleo moments. Well, but this isn't finalized yet, so let's take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly. Potential Miss Cleo moment. Potential
Miss Cleo moment. This was a half a Miss Cleo moment, because I like to take credit where credit's due, but part of the calculus was look at the price of the ROG Ally X and just expect it to be pretty much the same.
Yep, that was my stance. So this is according to the leak, the ROG Xbox Ally will cost starting at 599 euros, while the higher end will be 899 euros. So if you translate that to dollars, that would be roughly $699 and $1050. So these things are, like we said, they're going to be fucking expensive. I think
I said $799, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I can check the tape.
Listen, you're part of the Miss Cleo crew too, bro. Let's go. Because if you're in that range, Brett, you're good.
I just point out something quickly.
Yeah,
Brian's Miss Cleo.
No, I actually never gave a price, since I had no idea. But what I seem to notice with console prices is that they, for some odd reason, the Euro prices and the US tend to be like the same in terms of numbers.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, Brian, because I think the European prices will be the US prices. Like, again, these are people kind of calculating what it could be. But Brian, yes, you're right. It probably will be the same, because that's how it generally is. So yeah, $599 and $899. So
how much is that in dollar reduce?
No. So no. Like I said, Brett. Like calculated, it would be $699 and $1050. But as Brian correctly said, the European and at least in terms of numbers, European and American products are for electronics are generally the same numbers wise. So if that being the case,
Does Australia use euros?
Huh?
Does Australia use euros?
No, Australia uses something else. They use Australia.
Yeah, I said dollary dues.
Oh, dollary dues. Fair enough.
They'll keep that number parity.
They use fucking koala bears and shit for currency. I don't know what they use over there.
They kill you. Those shits are vicious.
Fucking boomerangs and shit. I'll give you 5 boomerangs for this Xbox ROG Ally, Will. But yeah, I think Carlos, we're going to be vindicating you too, bro. You're getting in here now too. You're Miss Cleo, you know. So yeah, there you go. It's going to be expensive for another Windows handheld. It's another Windows handheld, bro.
No thanks.
You kind of have to assume when the Nintendo's coming out and the Switch is coming out and setting the precedent that, you know, like they're using bargain basement hardware. That's not talking shit on Nintendo. That's always their MO, man. Like they use old tech and have a lot of first party hit developers. That's their thing. So,
And
you
by the
know,
way,
if the tech that they found laying around the clearance room floor will cost them $450 to get out the door, then it's going to be like twice that for anything else that's like.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
But in fairness to Nintendo, I literally just used the pricing of the current ROG Allies. I just use that as my basis. That's what they cost now. The lower end model is $599. The higher end model is $899. So I'm like, all right, this is basically the same system. It's probably going to cost that much, you know. So I'm not being big brain about it. I'm doing retardedly. Like, that's what it costs now. That's what it'll cost later.
Honestly, I'm a bit surprised it didn't cost a little bit less. Like I would have figured that them giving a Windows license for the, you know, grade of them putting on an Xbox button was kind of the whole partnership. So
because usually you have to pay for that license. Yeah, okay, and that raises the price, the fucking license. As we learned from the Legion Go S, the Steam version costs less than the Windows version, even though the Steam version is better.
Yep,
it's crazy, man.
Yep. So I don't know why it's the same.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, in the last story here, Steam is now banning games that violate, quote unquote, the rules of standards set by payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. Very interesting, you know?
What does that mean?
Yeah. Anyway,
I've turned my safe search off. I know what kind of games Steam has.
But apparently, you know, some of these payment processors aren't happy with some of these games, and they're going to start being pulled. That's what it seems like.
What type of game?
Well, there was that one game.
Okay, look. If there's anybody that wants to question their life choices, right? Like, turn all safe search off on Steam, and then sort by most popular.
Yeah,
you will never see the world the same way again.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Apparently, Steam is mostly just porn. I did not know this. Yeah. Anyway, so like what kind of fucking games are they pulling when I've seen those numbers? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So apparently some games are already removed now, and a lot of them were. They said, for example, many incest-themed games were removed. So it's already happened.
Oh no!
God damn it! Did they take Showering with My Dad?
Yes. Sorry, Brett. I know you were almost at the end, but you know, can't finish it now.
That is a real game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So is Sex with Stalin. I wonder if that's been taken out.
Oh man. Oh yeah. It seems so. Right here it says.
I'm gonna laugh if they leave some of these like super offensive, fucked up games in. Yeah, like Showering with My Dad.
Oh,
like take out.
This is why I love the fact that this podcast generally doesn't make a lot of money, because I'm going to read this shit. We're not going to get that demonetized. It doesn't fucking matter. Brett, here's some of the titles been retired. Let's go.
Oh no!
I am not making up any of these names.
Oh,
Incest Tale, Sister and Mom, Sex Village, another Incest Tales game, Webcam Daughter. Slave of the Police Officer, Interactive Sex, Incest Twins, Episode 3, Incest Daughters.
There's 2 others?
Yeah. Oh, there's a whole series of Incest Daughters BDSM, Episode 1 and 2. There's a whole bunch of interactive sex, Incest Twins, Futanari Incest. I don't know what the fuck that means. There's 2 of those.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
Nobody tell them.
Oh, excuse me. There's 3 of them. Incest Daughters again, Daddy's Twin Incest. It's a lot of Incest Daughters games. What the fuck? You get the gist. Wait, Queen Princess Incest. Redemption of Lee Wei. The only normal sounding game here got removed. So yeah,
Okay,
that's the type of shit that's done. Yeah.
The name Princess Incest is fucking beautiful, and I will be remembering it for the next inbred person I meet.
Brett, Queen Princess Incest.
Queen Princess Incest.
A lot of those things sound like they were AI generated.
They really do.
AI generated things, kind of
like random Amazon product reads.
Oh my god, those fucking Amazon descriptions. Brett, have you seen it's fucking gaming laptop 2025? I'm like, what company makes this shit? It doesn't say Acer, it doesn't say Lenovo, it doesn't say it says gaming laptop computer. 2025.
I mean, it's a search result for some people, right? People looking for gaming laptop from 2025, and it's a search engine result. That one, I'm guessing a lot of those games are just like those crazy YouTube videos that ended up being with kids.
Oh God,
the ones that have like Frozen and all that, all the weird.
The whole Elsa Gate thing, the Elsa Spider-Man.
Yeah, that
stuff.
whole thing. It sounds like that sort of thing, that they're playing off of these search results, which is somebody's actually searching these things, and they're making these quote unquote games.
Yeah,
sounds like it sounds. It sounds somewhat like they're forcing the credit card companies are forcing them to take a little bit more action into what the hell they put on their fucking site.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, and Chris, I want you to talk about it. So you brought this up. Apparently, the person that's behind this questionable, to say the least.
Yeah, it's a group called Collective Shift. I think there's some kind of like feminist group. But the fact that they were able to convince Visa and MasterCard to put pressure on Steam. I mean, the only pressure they could put on is that we're not going to process payments from you anymore if you don't pull these games. So, I mean, we could go, oh, we don't care about these games. These games sell gross. Yeah. What if their attention turns to something else that they find objectionable? Because that's all subjective, right? What if they decide, oh, Steam has too many violent games, so let's just pull those. Or too many horror games, let's pull those. Like, there's no, it's a slippery slope. That's what I'm trying to say. And anyone who could pressure those companies to do that, that's a monopoly, right? They should not have that kind of control over other companies. So Visa and MasterCard control like 90% of electronic payments. That's insane. So they have the weight to throw around. Like if they pull out of whatever service, that service is sunk. So that's something that needs to be addressed. So we need alternative payment systems. Not defending Queen Princess Incest or whatever, but I'm saying what's after that? What's next on their radar that they want to pull? I mean, anything's on the table.
No, you're 100% right. It's scary. Obviously, again, we're not defending these stupid ass games, but we're worried about the implications. What that could happen down the line. But we'll see. But yeah, it's crazy. Like they're forcing Steam of all fucking Valve to comply. Valve doesn't have to comply to shit.
I honestly think that Valve could, if they did take, they'd be like, cool, we're taking PayPal, we're taking Venmo. Yeah.
I mean, they already take PayPal. You're right. Yeah.
It's fine. And on a side note, I just gotta say, something that haunts me every time I hear about this kind of shit is, I want to say it was like circa 2018 or something like that. There was a season of Rick and Morty where they were all standing around like this wishing portal, and one of the Mortys all making these absurd wishes, and one of the Mortys tosses in his little offering and says, I wish incest porn had a more mainstream appeal. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, why the fuck would you say that? And like 4 years later, that shit just seems everywhere. And I don't know if Dan Harmon is a madman or a genius or a psychic or what the fuck. I don't know if he made that happen. But it can't be a coincidence. I have no... We as a species are so cooked. Yep, that's it.
No, man. All right, man. Good stuff. Let's start wrapping it up here. Adam, what you got going, man?
Got episode 6 of Revival, Bloodlines. No connection to Slayer, but I wish there was, because I love that song, Bloodlines, that track. Oh man, so good. But yeah, this is a big one because this has CM Punk in it, and there's a lot of crazy action, a lot of death, a lot of aliens, people, aliens. I love aliens, and there's a lot of that. Craziness happens in this. So yeah, we have that over on the TV terminal. We just covered that. That's posted. We'll have later tonight Dexter episode 3. That goes up at like 1 a.m. Eastern. So if you're into Dexter and want to discuss what's going on in that world, which is fantastic. I'm usually not a fan of a lot of these spin-offs that come about from shows that should have ended the way they were supposed to end. But man, this one's great. I love it. I don't know if it's just because I'm biased because it's in New York or what, but it fits.
Is it snowing?
Is it snowing? No snow. No snow. But it's great. It's great so far. So, and it's short. There's only 6 episodes of the season, and we're already on episode 3 because they dropped 2 episodes on the first week for the release. So, yep, got that, and yeah, go check it out, the TV terminal. And now we got some respect from YouTube. So if you just type it in the TV terminal, we're the first thing that pops up now. We actually populate, and you see it there. So that's always great.
Nice. Rich, what's coming up on the Coalition this weekend?
Yes, sir. Testing 1, 2.
Yes, you're on. Yeah, Richard just slipped in while we were doing our thing. Yeah, what's going on, brother?
Oh yeah, no, what's up? So this weekend on the Coalition, as Adam pointed out, we will be having the continued coverage that he's been posting of Dexter. Revival is up right now. He also is going to be doing a review of the RoboCop game. That should be up tomorrow.
Business.
And as for what else is happening with the Coalition, there is nothing happening this weekend. However, I will say this. I'm actually covering 2 major games that are coming out this month. I have a couple of embargoes that are going to be dropping next week. So I'm cooking up something special for one of these games. So I would encourage you all to stay tuned to the Coalition. And I think everybody that has been checking out the Coalition Gaming channel, because you're going to see a lot of stuff up there next week. But I'll just say stay tuned. I would like to say a lot about what I've been playing, but I can't say anything yet. But just stay tuned next week.
Good stuff.
We got to do some plays on that with the wrestling, with all the craziness that's happening, and see all the broken creative characters. I think that'd be funny, just to like pick some characters and see how they broke it.
Oh yes, that's a great idea. Yes, we need to talk about that.
All right, Manny, you got anything?
Yes, I certainly do. So, first up, Ninja Turtle comics are all out in the streets. You can get all 4 covers done by Kari Randolph and myself. You know, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael all out. So, you know, good stuff out there. Also, Naruto, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are covered by Kari Randolph and myself have done already. Street Sharks coming real soon. A bunch of other nostalgic stuff that stuff, and then, you know, some news things that are not so nostalgic. Also, Power Rangers Prime #9 with a cover by myself. So it's got VR Troopers. It's got the new Green Ranger on the cover. And August 23rd, if you're out in California, you can check out MGS Con, which is at the Ontario Convention Center in California. So it's not Ontario, Canada. It is Ontario, California. So it should be a good time. I've got my book soul ready to go. I got a couple of more things to set up. So it should be a good time. It's going to be my first time being in Ontario in that portion of California. So it should be
We get
interesting.
a Canadian audience all excited. Oh, you're coming to Canada.
I mean, I'm looking at it. It's I would say this. It is definitely close to no, it's not. It's not close to Canada.
It's not close to Canada at all. It's on the same
not close to
planet,
Canada. It's on the same planet. It's quite a bit out of the way outside of Los Angeles. So, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, coming soon. So, if you're out in California for that, check it out. It should be a good time.
Good stuff. Maybe he's gonna be like California knows how to party. California knows how to party in the city. All right, I'll stop.
I'll tell you one thing about this area. This if you end up going, the Ontario International Airport is literally right next to it.
Oh, so really?
You can, so you literally just get out of the airport and go.
Ooh, international. That's good.
Yeah, so it should be good.
There's a lot of travel there, so
it should be a lot of travel, and it seems like it's a straight shot across the country. So maybe I might be able to get a straight shot over there from PA. Yeah. Who knows?
That'd be good.
I'm looking at flights now. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, Yeah, man. Because when I went to Anaheim, they don't have an international airport there. I had to go to, even though the airport has. Yes, I had to do the connecting flights and shit.
Yeah, like how I got to Anaheim is, to be honest, I literally was it, because Anaheim is where Disney land is. Yeah, so how I got there is I literally just took an Uber from LA? Burbank.
Oh, for Burbank. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because I was staying up at Jimmy's place. You remember Jimmy?
Yeah, I remember Jimmy. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, why is it?
Well, for you guys that use Uber, never used Uber, it came up in for Dexter because he's an Uber driver. Whole big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, do people give you, do the drivers offer you drinks or candies?
Oh,
and stuff like that?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes they do. Not all the time, but they do.
Now, here's a question.
Never trust it.
Neither do I. Yeah.
Myself and Lawrence, we've never taken Uber, so we didn't know. And we asked this question: is that free, or do they add that to the bill?
It's free. They just offer it.
It's free.
Oh, it's free.
They usually. Yeah, they usually, set it, like sometimes they usually set us like some drinks in there, or they'll have a candy dish or something like that. But I don't
do it either. I don't trust it. But you know why they do that? Because they hope you will give them more tips. But it's free.
It's free. But yeah, they want to get a tip.
They're never like, you took a Snickers, bitch. Give me $1. It's not like that.
Yeah, it's not like when you walk into a hotel room and you see the
those motherfuckers.
mini fridge.
Oh, the guy at the bathroom, at the club, and they're like, oh yeah,
the guy at the bathroom of the club. I'm like, yeah, I didn't
fucking guy. Yeah,
it's like I didn't ask you to put the soap in my hands, son.
Yeah. Do that myself, man.
Did you come in the store and wipe for me? God damn.
You're gonna wipe too.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
Getting good. Good.
Oh man.
Double wipe, please.
I'll pay you extra.
I had a burrito and I'm messy.
You're gonna earn this tip. All right, let's start wrapping it up, man. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord. Check us out on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight, joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Yo, man. You didn't tell me that Death Stranding has more endings than The Return of the King.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Brett Murdoch.
Peace out.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
And Brian Manjoma.
Here's an idea for an AI. You make an AI that takes AI content and then gets the prompt from that AI content. That way it's 100% ethical.
Oh, man. That's funny. All right, guys.
Is it free range, though?
Free range, yeah. For some reason, Brian, I thought you were going to make a joke about Coldplay. I don't know if you've seen those memes. Some funny stuff going on there.
That's one costly 5 seconds.
Yeah, my advice is if you get caught on camera, play it cool, because that shit would have gone viral. Oh man,
what, Coldplay got busted.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you off here. All right. Even though it's nothing salacious, it's just funny. All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday later.